Hello everybody, welcome back to the Panel by Panel Comics YouTube channel with me, your host Jay. Today is my top 10 comics coming out for the week of June 17th, 2026. So before we get into today's episode, if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that like button and the subscribe button as well so you never miss out on my nearly daily comic book content. And before we get into my top 10, here are 4 books that are coming out for the week that didn't quite make my top 10, but are still some very notable books. We have Nightwing issue 139, Invincible Universe Battle Beast issue 10, Uncanny X-Men issue 30, and a really big issue 1 that will be on my buy or sell. I'm not looking forward to it too much. It's Spider-Man Long Way Home issue number 1. Now let's go ahead and get our top 10 started with Lobo. This is issue number 4. 32 pages for $4, of course, written by Scotty Young, art done by Jorge Corona. Now, if you guys are into Lobo, if you're looking forward to him in the new Supergirl movie, this might not be the best introduction to this character, but it is main man Lobo versus Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Going to be a solo compacted issue. Because of the new Supergirl movie coming out in less than 10 days by this, I guess today. That's kind of crazy to think about because I believe it comes out the 26th. Maybe it's the 28th, one of the 2 days. Either way, looking forward to that. This is very simple. Supergirl v. Lobo. Whose story is going to be more fun? The same story told 2 ways. Rush a month to your local comic store and order them both now. So it seems like this and Supergirl will kind of be going alongside each other for at least a couple issues. Can't wait to see how it goes. It comes in at number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have The Amazing Spider-Man issue 31. At the time of this recording, I have not been able to read the previous issue, but this is going to be the talk. Peter Parker's world will never be the same. Don't miss one of the most pivotal issues in Spider-Man history. This is legacy number 995. 32 pages, $5. We have a new artist as well on the title, Patrick Gleason. Going to be alongside Joe Kelly for this issue. Interested to see what the talk is going to be, how the talk will go down. It looks like it's going to be between Peter and Aunt May, of course. Also going to be getting characters like the Vulture, also Carnage and Torment, resembling on the Death Spiral event that just happened with ASM. Also going to get Rick Bernal and Cormac Crane in this issue. And it comes in at number 9, Amazing Spider-Man issue 31. Coming in at number 8, we have Red Coat issue 18. This is 32 pages for $4. Written by Jeff Johns. Art is done by Brian Hitch. The penciling done by Brian Hitch. The inker is Andrew Curry. Colorist is Brad Anderson. This is 1909, and Simon Pure has long hoped that his fellow immortal Benedict Arnold drifted out to sea and turned to ash when they last tangled in 1892. However, that is not what has happened, and he has returned. But not for revenge, he claims, but to help Simon's family become immortal like him. The truth is, Arnold has changed, just in ways Simon would never expect. Can't wait to see how these two show down in this issue. What does Benedict Arnold have up his sleeve to kill potentially Albert Einstein, a young Albert Einstein, and Redcoat, of course, Simon Pure. These two have been going at it for centuries now at this point, dating all the way back to the 1700s. Can't wait to see how Benedict Arnold tries to one-up Simon Pure and how Simon Pure gets out of this situation. Will he die? Will his family die? Will they become immortal? Who knows? Can't wait to read in issue 18. Coming in at number 7, we have End of Life. This is issue number 5, 32 pages for $5. Just when you thought Eddie's life couldn't get worse, Richard Smiley has kidnapped Trent and taken him back to the abandoned Raw Dog theme park. But have the people of Pluto softened Eddie enough to care? It's a confrontation between 2 incredibly annoying guys with a fallout that will leave Eddie at his lowest, which is really saying something. So we know Eddie Stallion is this hard shell guy that is tough to crack, but the city of Plum is actually doing a good job at making him care about people once again after having no emotions for a good majority of his adult life. We know him and his dad had a falling out. We saw the history of how his dad was one of the originators of the Menagerie, who is the group going after Eddie Stallion. After, all the way back in issue 1, he stole a prized possession of, I believe, the Raven, one of the more higher-ranking members of the Menagerie. Can't wait to see how Kyle Starks and Steve Pugh continue this series. Not quite sure how many issues it is supposed to go. This is issue 5. I believe it's either a 6 or... No, it's got to be more than 6 because I see an issue 7. So maybe it's going to be an 8-issue mini. Maybe, I don't know how long this is going to go. I've been loving this as well as Bleeding Hearts. Getting them on back-to-back weeks is always great. That's why it comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have an Energon Universe book, G.I. Joe, issue 23, 32 pages for $4. Joshua Williamson, Andre Milana on the art. And Who is Risk? The secret origin of G.I. Joe's most unpredictable member, and what will happen when Destro and Baroness meet again. In the previous issue of G.I. Joe, we saw the G.I. Joes and Destro and his crew get ordered to this city that is escaping my mind right now, but we had a confrontation between the two groups. Risk looks like he's going to be a main character of at least this issue. He was kind of the main character of the last issue. We saw some of the PTSD going through his mind, some of the trauma that he has experienced in his life, and how that is impacting him now. Also, the Baroness is going to be there with Risk, as well as Mercer, Chameleon. Crystal Ball is going to be a huge character in this in this arc, at least for G.I. Joe. Because that's where they are, and that's how they get trapped, is because Crystal Ball takes them into his lab and looks to run some experiments potentially on these G.I. Joe and Cobra Law members. Also, Destro meeting Baroness again after their little scrawl or squabble, whatever you want to say. Can't wait to see how that goes down. Joshua Williamson killing it with the G.I. Joes. It comes in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, we have Odin. This is issue 2, 32 pages for $4. Written by James Tynion, art done by Letitia Cadonici. Also written by Margaret Bennett, can't forget about that. This is a really good paranormal demon horror style book. Robert gave up being Roberto to fit in with his Nazi punk friends. Now those same friends have dragged him to the frozen forest of Norway to summon a god, quote unquote, and he may have to give up much more before they're through with him. This is a great opening issue of issue 1 whenever that came out. It was one of my top books of that week, honestly. It was so fantastic. I can't wait to see how the characters try to kind of figure out what to do, because after issue 1 they're kind of like, well, I don't know what to do now. There is a leader of the group, can't remember his name. The names of the team is kind of losing my mind right now, but the main character, the female that is undercover for this news organization trying to write up an article for this Nazi white supremacist group, she kind of gets trapped into it, kind of gets suckered into it. But now she's kind of realized, oh crap, I've potentially done something very illegal, very wrong. I'm a criminal now. So if I continue to go through with this, even with the news story, I'm going to get in trouble. Now I got to find a way to get out of this, get scot-free potentially, and maybe I have to just accept that I'm going to have to belong to this group for the rest of my life. I don't know. Can't wait to see how that character gets out of this and how the rest of the group does. That's why it's such a fantastic book. James Tynion killing it in the horror series. Best horror writer on the earth right now, in my opinion. Odin comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have The Punisher, issue number 5. This is legacy numbering 284, 32 pages for $5, written by Benjamin Percy. Sergio Fernandez de Villa is the penciler, as well as Jose Luis Suarez Pinto. This is titled Warzone. Going to be the battle between Jigsaw and the Punisher. Jigsaw trying to be the kingpin of New York, specifically after taking down Tombstone, and with the current absence of Kingpin, wounded and reeling as his own body begins to turn against him. Frank Castle has no choice but to confront the ghosts of his past and the grisly reality of his future, all wrapped up in one, as Jigsaw's machinations and mind games comes to a sense-shattering head. Face front true believers, because in this issue, all the puzzle pieces start falling into place. We've seen how the first 4 issues went, and now it is all going to take shape here in issue 5. Benjamin Percy having a tremendous run right now, period, with all the books he's writing, including Wade Wilson Deadpool, which I've also came out last week. Haven't been able to read that, but that series has been fantastic, and he's done a tremendous job with the Punisher. It just seems like he is the perfect Marvel guy right now, just understands the characters at their core. Punisher issue 5 comes in at 4th spot. Kicking off the top 3, I'll let you know right now, these top 3 are all from DC, and they're all absolute books. The absolute titles, the absolute universe is conquering all of comics right now. I don't know how you can't enjoy what they are putting out. It is just fantastic. So original. Everything about the absolute universe is what comic book fans have wanted for such a long time. Something that you can introduce to new readers while also getting old readers to enjoy this new interpretation of some of their favorite characters. But coming in at 3rd, we have Absolute Green Arrow, issue number 2, 32 pages, $5, written by Pornzek Picketshot, and the artist is Raphael Albuquerque. This is New Archers and New Murders. Is the Green Arrow killer merely a psychopath or something more? Is he a monster Absolute Black Canary should be fighting against or with? Still reeling from the disturbing discoveries of last issue's final pages, Dinah investigates one suspect on her list of DC Archers, Mia Dearden, and stumbles on a secret from Oliver Queen's past that will change everything. If you do not know, spoiler warning, in the Absolute Universe, Oliver Queen is dead. He was murdered in Absolute Evil by Absolute Hawkman. So we don't know who this Green Arrow is. It has yet to be revealed. Potentially Mia Dearden, potentially Roy Harper. There's a lot of people that it could potentially be. Probably going to be Roy Harper if we're being honest. But I'm still enjoying this, seeing how Black Canary is going to try to investigate, find her morals. Is she gonna be a good person? Is she gonna stick with the money though? Because she doesn't have a whole lot of money right now, kind of in a bad financial spot, and she's getting a lot of money from Hector Hammond. She needs the money to help afford her dad's cancer medications and all the stuff that comes along with that. So she's kind of in a crossroads right now. Can't wait to see how she navigates the path, and will she team up with this Absolute Green Arrow, or is she going to go against him? Can't wait to see. Maybe we'll get some of that here in issue 2. Coming in at number 2, we have Absolute Flash, issue 16, 32 pages, $5. Jeff Lemire doing the writing. Haining is the artist. The Rogues strike back as Wally races to find the answers about the mysterious Star Labs. The founders, the Rogues, have resurfaced with a new mission: secure Grodd and his father before they take over Colorado. We saw the Grodds get released after the, I guess, just complete malfunction of Fox Labs, I want to say it was called. Anyway, Fort Fox, that's what it was called. The whole catastrophe that happened there. The Grodds escaped. Of course, we know the younger Grodd is actually good friends with Wally, but the older Gorilla Grodd believes that all humans are bad and that they just want to rip you apart, tear you to shreds, and do all this investigating and dissections on you, and they just want to learn more about you and create their ultimate monster. And it'll be interesting to see how Grodd kind of helps Flash and how the Rogues will go after Gorilla Grodd. Will they capture him? Will some of them die potentially? Because we know how overpowered Grodd is in the mainline DCU. Imagine how insanely overpowered he could potentially be in the Absolute Universe. Can't wait to see how that's written. Jeff Lemire has been absolutely cooking with the Flash in the Absolute Universe. But of course, any month, any week that it comes out, Absolute Batman comes in at number 1, issue 21, 32 pages for $5. This is going to be the reveal of Absolute Harvey Dent. Scott Snyder, Nick Dragotta, just the best 1-2 right now going in any publisher. This is going to be Batman, Pennyworth, also going to get Harley Quinn, going to have the Robins battling against Absolute Batman at the very beginning of these issues, going to get Slade Wilson, Absolute Deathstroke, and of course Two-Face, Harvey Dent. But the synopsis for this issue says, Scarecrow's reign of terror continues. Friends become enemies, enemies become friends. final forms are revealed and Scarecrow's reign of terror threatens to upend everything. We know this is the absolute Scarecrow arc, but right, he's kind of just hiding in the shadows, which is kind of what his entire personality is. He comes from the shadows, he is always smoking on a cigarette, and then somebody dies. He's had some huge murders already in the Absolute Universe that are shattering everything and are going to create new characters. We already got the reveal at the most recent Comic-Con that Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta attended. There's going to be Absolute Batgirl. Can't wait to see how that comes through, and how is she going to work with Bruce Wayne, especially after she's been knowing Absolute Batman as this other person. But once she finds out it's Bruce Wayne, who knows what's going to happen between those two? How are they going to clash? Is there going to be a fight? Probably. Who knows? But I can't wait to see how Bruce Wayne, Absolute Batman, navigates these new absolute frenemies that he has of Harvey Dent, the Penguin, Riddler, and there's still Waylon Jones, Absolute Crocodile, or Absolute, oh my gosh, whatever. Waylon Jones, who cares? Can't wait to see how that goes down. He's also just losing himself. He's not becoming Bruce Wayne. He is becoming Batman, which is really, really cool to read, but also it's kind of sad seeing somebody fall into a persona rather than try to grow as a human through the persona. So it's really interesting. Scott Snyder doing a fantastic job. But guys, let me know down in the comments, what is your number one book you are looking most forward to on Wednesday. I will see you guys tomorrow for New Comic Book Day. But remember, keep reading those comics panel by panel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.